What's going on, guys? It's been a minute. Life, job hunting is fun and exciting. Got a nasty ass pimple. I got them pimple patches. But yes, we are back. So there's gonna be quite a few videos coming out this weekend, and the one I'm doing right now, as you would have known from the thumbnail and title and everything else, is my thoughts on the ban list that is probably more than likely gonna happen next weekend after EU. So yeah, without further ado, let's just jump into it. So this is the ban list, right? This is my ban, limited, semi-limited, unlimited, everything. There's not a whole lot, like I'll go through each card and talk about why, but this is kind of my would like to see ban list. Kind of future-proofing, going directly into the next format with Yummy and Canine and Draco Tail, and kind of taking out the stuff that is making now current decks just overly broken. Not broken, but just, I think what the decks do now, that Konami has changed the way they approach designing cards now, it feels like. So hopefully that means that we'll see like a Droll 2.0 in the future, due to them just kind of looking at the overall design for cards and looking at an old deck like Heroes, like Orchist, and giving them the right support that they need to make the deck good, right? Let's balance out the powers, because the decks that are coming out now that are being printed are up here, and you got like Hero and everything else kind of down here. But let's kind of bridge that gap as much. And you don't want to design cards and then bring them down here. Let's try to get the decks that are down here and bring them up here, like they did with Vanquish Soul, like they did with Orchist and all the other cards. So let's get into the ban list. So for Fiendsmith, we gotta talk about the Fiendsmith. The hits that I have for it, one of them I kind of disagree with myself in a way, but Exciton Knight, because then Rizal can just go full Fiendsmith combo. But Moon of the Closed Heaven stops the other decks from just being able to play Fiendsmith, but at the same time too, thinking about it now, like the fact that the old decks could just add the Fiendsmith combo to their combo, because it gives them that extra bit of interaction of, if their deck didn't have a whole lot going on, if it had like a non-target pop and like a trap blow up spell or whatever, it kind of gives them that extra edge of being able to go a Gum Day or being able to recur bodies, and it's just a little something extra, but I think Caesar definitely needs to go. Fuck Caesar. It's just a crazy card, and when it's summoned, it's a Solemn Strike with 2800 attack. I don't think that Fiendsmith needs to be adding that to their combo, and I don't even see DDD kind of making this. I'm sure they could, but there's also no DDD players at my locals and where I go play, so you know, it's kind of whatever. But as far as Fiendsmith goes, you don't really need to like do too much to it. I think banning Exciton Knight and then banning Caesar, because if you ban Exciton Knight, right, they could just go Moon and do the full combo and everything, but then they're still just ending on a Desiree. I don't think Caesar is too much of a problem, but I think it's just needs to be banned, right? Like just like Beatrice and all the other sixes, whatever. I'm sorry, Fiendsmith, that you've done this to some cards, but they gotta go. Protos, why the fuck did it come back? It was banned, and then when Thunder Colossus came back, they thought, I guess maybe let's just bring Protos back and see what it does, because we brought Colossus back. As we can see, Colossus isn't doing anything. You might have the rogue guy at your locals playing it, being able to make two of them, and it's like, oh my god, it's a Droll on legs. But with how much the Chummies and Droll and board breakers and everything are prevalent now, I'm not saying that Protos is, again, a huge problem. I do think it's bannable, just because Lunalight is starting to abuse it now, and we don't need that kind of toxicity. Like the lingering floodgates, as you'll see, or as you see, it's like, let's get rid of them. Let's have that tit for tat. Let's have that Yu-Gi-Oh back and forth. Now that they're designing decks to kind of have that with Malice and Rizal and, you know, Vanquish Soul, Canine, and, you know, all this a yummy. It's a lot of tit for tat, back and forth, exchanging. It's not just like, you know, like D-barrier. You're just like, nope, you are not fusion summoning at all this whole turn, and there's nothing you can do to negate it because in draw phase. So, yeah, Protos gone. Water statue gone. Just another floodgate that Mermail can just put out there. Unnecessary. I don't see why they would need that. Yeah, just take it out. Featherstorm, I think everyone's kind of agreeing with this also. Just take it out. It's toxic, right? It's a turn skip, it's an automatic win, it's a win more even. Just take it out. Same thing with Paradise, kind of the same thing. With Canine coming out, just get rid of it. Barrier, again, Lingering Floodgate, get rid of it. Now the limited, this one was kind of interesting because I didn't want to hit the decks that are currently doing well too much, and then it's like the only decks that are playable and viable are the new decks. Let's keep it to where there's a lot more decks in the room playable, and you can kind of pick your poison, you know, say what you want, do what you want, and still do decently good, right? There's still gonna be like the top tier decks that are gonna be able to blow through multiple interactions and floodgates and this and that and still do their thing. But I think X to 1, most people want X banned. I say just let them have 1X. The odds of you drawing it and then the 1 bonfire or being able to make the bodies to make Banshee to search it, it's like, you know, whatever. And then Sword to 1 as well, just killing the extension. Most people would do ice. I would say leave their normal summon alone and let's kind of hit the extensions. That way they're forced to just go for that ice line. And then I couldn't find a decent picture for this one, but Prayers to 1. I don't think Mitsurugi is going to be like crazy much of a problem, right? There's a lot of things that hit it. It just dies to draw. But I think Prayers being as much of a custom card as it is, doesn't need to exist. So just put it to 1. You kill the consistency. And the whole thing for my argument with Mitsurugi is just kill the consistency because all their cards are obviously unlimited. There's King of the Feral Imps. One could argue ban King of the Feral Imps, and I could add that on the list due to it would open up future card design for Konami, just like Bahamut Shark, right? Now they can create level 2s and 3s of water and not have to worry about Bahamut Shark breaking the summoning conditions for those cards. I guess one could argue the same thing with King of the Feral Imps. They could open up the reptile lines and not have to worry about Rizal or any level 4, like the Doo-Doo-Doo Ga-Ga-Ga cards to just make King of the Feral Imps and search that 1-of card. So that's that. Dormouse 1, consistency. Thrust to 1. You know, Talents went to 1. Thrust, I could argue because there's a lot of floodgates out there that Thrust can send, or set rather, like D-Barrier. And it's kind of a combination of let's slowly kill out the floodgates that can be set off of Thrust. But Thrust is also a good thing to get in archetype engine cards with most of the time. Like for White Forest, I can grab Tails, I can grab Hollowed, Philia Diabell. I can also get Sales Band, right? There's a couple things that Thrust I think is good for. Because it also has the condition where if your opponent controls a monster, which now that we have this like turn 0 meta going thing, and then every deck just interacts on the opponent's turn as well with hand traps and this and that. So Thrust to 1 just kind of hit consistency. But I do want some things to come back. I want Red Reboot to come back. Is it toxic? Absolutely. Do I want just 1-of? Absolutely. We got a lot of traps going on now. We got a lot of Dominus cards going on now. I don't think Red Reboot being at 1 is just gonna like absolutely shift everything. Is it gonna be a mandatory? Probably. So if you don't have one, guys, just pick up your copies in case it ever comes back. And speaking of ever coming back, bring back Baron de Fleur. Yes, Sneak Eye was able to abuse it. There was a lot of decks that were able to make him. I don't, or her? Him, her? I don't know. Baron just being a nice little Omni Negate that a lot of decks can use. Again, it's kind of like bringing back that power level to like White Forest, Vanadium, and all the other decks that could make a level 10 or just make Baron. Bring back Baron. And then of course Heavy Storm as well to 1. I think we're all kind of feeling this. It's just kind of like, when are they going to do it? Now that there's a lot more Dominus cards, I would like to blow out more of the back row, just in case my opponent sets them. There's a lot of Solemns and Solemn Strikes, Solemn Judgments going around. Just another card to hit that back row, because Lightning Storm, yeah, is nice, but like, if you go into the grind game or you go any later in the game, you can't control any face-up cards, which you 99% of the time will in most cases. So Heavy Storm 1, we're all thinking it. Anaconda Verde, again, bringing back the power to the old decks. You know, I don't think Verde is gonna break too much. It's kind of an older card, and you gotta have the bodies to make it and then fusion it. There's so much negation now, there's so much interaction that you would almost not want to do it, but again, give power to the decks that exist to bring the lower decks up to the, you know, tier 1.5 decks. And then also in the limited, just Razin to 1 consistency. Semi-limited. My semi-limited that I would like to see, right? And again, I preface this by saying I've only been playing Yu-Gi-Oh! For 2 years. A year competitively, trying to go to regionals, this, that, and the other. So in the grand scope of things, I don't have that vision. But from what I see and what I hear and what I feel, this is my thoughts. So called by the 2, because we have a lot more cards like the Chummies and Drolls and everything. We got cross out, taken away from us, put to 1. We do have some stuff like Sales Ban, Prohibition, and stuff like that. But we need something a little bit quicker. And I feel like Called by the 2 would be the nice play, because like cross out, you have to have the card yourself. Called by, you can, as long as it's in the grave, and there's a lot of graveyard decks now. Being able to like snipe your opponent's stuff out is nice. Called by the 2. Alerted 2, just consistency. I just threw it on here just cause. That grass is greener. Again, giving power to some of the old decks. Grass at 1, Thrust at 1. Not gonna really see it or use it. Let's put Grass to 2. That way people can just draw into it more. And give power to like the tier limit decks that are running around, and Light Sworn, and all the other decks that could experiment more with Grass is greener. Cool. But my biggest semi-limit that I really hope they do is Phantom to 2. Let's bring Yubel back. Yubel is a really good deck. They give it a lot of good support. Phantom of Yubel is a crazy card. Excuse me. Phantom to 2 would make the deck a lot more consistent. It could do a lot more. Yeah, let's put Phantom to 2. And then the Unlimits, True Draco Slayer, whatever. Droll. My argument for Droll is, like in my other video, it's like a necessary evil, right? We just gotta have it. It's gotta be there. It's gotta do its thing. Would I like to see Konami make it like a Droll 2.0? Absolutely. I think there's a lot of great ideas out there that YouTubers have kind of been talking about. Most of them I agree with, some of them I don't, but I would like to see Droll get a rework and then ban this one, or, you know, limit this one. Ash to 3, just that's a personal one on me. I just want to see Ash at 3. It's not even doing anything now. With OSS still banned, it's hard for the deck to do a whole lot of like broken stuff. And even now, like the decks it's trying to keep up with, it's just, I want to see that deck try to compete in this current meta, because I think it can do a lot. And I think keeping OSS banned personally hurts, but if they bring Ash to 3, I don't think it would do much. And then Shavara to 3, why not? It's already at 2, bring it to 3. Same thing with Delicious and Sleepy Memory. Give power to the old decks, let the old decks try to compete with the new stuff. And Pearly is a great deck, right? Now that we got unaffected boss monsters running around, you know, let's just throw Pearly back into it, because I would personally love to play Pearly. All right, I want to give it a try. But yeah, that's all I have for right now, guys. That's just my thoughts on the current ban list that I would like to see happen next weekend. I got some interviews coming out. I got some deck profiles coming out, all to be edited right now. So stay tuned, and I will see you guys in a bit. Peace.